Hello, this is Whiskey Fire Department. We're back for part 2 with the interview with my grandfather, who is a World War II veteran. He was on a Navy ship. Now, Grandpa, what I didn't get last week was, what was the name of your ship?
I sailed on the SS Patrick Henry and Henry Wine Coupe and the SSW American Vickers ship. One just like the one sitting here.
So it's the sister of the one that's sitting at Tampa Port.
They're all designed the same mold, built the same way. This one here has a little more speed than the first ones did, but basically the same.
Okay.
Every living quarters was the same, everything the same.
Okay, so your first ship, what was the name of it?
SS Patrick Henry, first Liberty ship ever built.
Was that the one that went to Russia?
That's the one that went to Russia.
It was the first one ever built?
The first one ever built. It wasn't the maiden voyage, it was his second voyage.
Oh.
He had made one voyage before that, and then I went on that voyage to Russia with it.
Okay. What we didn't get about the ship, what was your rank?
I started out as an able-bodied seaman on the first cruise, and gunnery trained, but our duties aboard ship in the Navy was to take care of the ship as seamen. Dock it, sail it, and dock it. But we were gunnery trained, and our main position on them ships was to protect the ship with guns.
And that's where you got really good at guns.
Yeah, I got good at guns. I was the best shot in the Navy with a machine gun because my father had taught me to wing shoot birds. And if a guy come with me in the range of my machine gun, he was duck soup, because I'd bring him down.
So you had a lot of duck soup.
I had big splashes too.
Yeah.
Did you have any other specialty training?
I also was trained to command the gun position. Went off right into bat because I decided I would go into the coxswain and boatswain mate seamanship rating, and I was already a first class seaman when I went to sea, gunnery trained. So my duties aboard that ship was primarily take care of equipment, guns, and to shoot, and also communication. I learned to repair the headphone sets, which was always in constant need.
Yeah.
And later on, I enjoyed it very much, so I continued into it. So I went ahead and got, when I came out of the Navy, I had an E5 rating. Which is,
I do know what an E5 is.
E5.
Very good.
And I was second command on every ship. This last ship I sailed, I was second command on the Navy crew.
I did not know that.
Yes, and I enjoyed it very much. And as a boatswain mate, you have to discipline, put them in jail, and correct them.
So you got to arrest people?
Oh yeah, you got criticized for that.
Okay.
You got punishment because on your birthday, each is bank my butt.
Oh, the people that you arrested?
Yeah, so I had 3 shifts.
I like this idea.
First shift came down, made it sore.
Of course you do.
The second shift down, it was sore, and when the third shift come down, I backed up against the gun turret, and I got a big turn buckle, and I said, "You do it, and I'll lay you out."
Yeah. So did you learn not to arrest as many people?
I did. I had,
It's like the path of least resistance.
I had one guy that killed another, and I had been on my last ship. He killed a guy just before we got into port. I had just been married, and I was dying to get home. But the FBI
On the ship?
He killed him on the ship. The FBI wouldn't let the ship, nobody go on liberty till they investigated it. So they put the ship down on lockdown. I had him.
FBI
did
that.
I had him in the chain locker under lock and key, and they wouldn't let him out. Wouldn't let me. None of us off the ship until the FBI come in, and they cleared us, and then I turned the key over, unlocked, and gave him to him.
I guess that was before JAG, because JAG does that now. But FBI took care of the.
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting.
That upset me because I wanted to go home and see my wife.
Yes. Yes, I could see why you would want to see Grandma not be there with a murderer.
But I enjoyed my rating.
I have a question about when you were training, because I know now on ships, everyone gets trained to fight fire because you're the fire department.
Do everything.
Did y'all have fire training?
Fire training, put the fire out, get off the ship, and save the ship.
You were the first firefighter in our family, and I was the second.
You might put it that way.
Yeah,
You might put it that way.
Absolutely, because the people in the Navy are known as firefighters when they're on ships.
The two biggest
Yeah.
hazards aboard those ships was one was an explosion because they all
Yeah.
carried ammunition. The second was fire.
Yeah.
Second was fire.
Did you have any fires on the ship? And I know y'all got
No,
shot at
no,
a lot.
no.
So, no.
We never witnessed a fire because steel don't burn very well,
No.
and none of the crates caught on fire. So that was a case too. But primarily, our duty was just to big.
Because it's no joke having a fire on a ship. I've been
No,
through shipboard firefighting, and I was like, I never want to go aboard a ship for a fire. It is hot and
Yes.
dangerous
Hot,
because it's
hot.
usually down deep in the
Mhm.
ship, and you can't see nothing, and everything, like you said, it's all steel and
Oh,
the
hot.
heat's
An
amazing.
interesting thought I had a year's shore duty, so I lost my sea legs. I was second command in the Navy personnel when we sailed, and it won't put ammunition aboard the ship until you get ready to leave. They'll put it on your deck and car ammunition ship, put it on. Then you have to get it down in the magazine, which is on the lower part of the ship. And lo and behold, who got seasick first?
You.
With me. I wouldn't let anybody know about it. I was the only seaman. I'd run up and throw overboard and come back and I'll go back.
And go down and work, and then
They never knew.
I was curious, what did y'all do in your downtime on the ship? Did y'all have like entertainment or?
You had to create your own entertainment.
That's what I
You read or you. I studied. I found out really only they wanted personnel training. So on the first ship, I didn't even worry about it. The second ship I got on, I studied. They give you books to study on for your next promotion, and as soon as you could pass the test, then you passed it, they promote you. So I did a lot of time studying.
What? And how was the food on the ship? We all want to know that.
Hey, that's a good subject, and I went and looked at the air coolers on this ship here and remembered that when you're in port, they feed you like a king. You get anything you want, steaks, food, anything else. But the hazard of all that, when the ship sailed, you had about a limited supply of fresh food. Then you went to powdered eggs, frozen
How about
food.
the MREs and
It
stuff?
wasn't frozen, it was just in the
Powder.
freezer.
So you just, oh wow.
And then that wasn't the worst tragedy. Worst tragedy we had was when you get to these other ports,
Yeah.
you had to take whatever they had. In Russia, the only thing you had was black bread.
What's
You couldn't
that?
bust it with a hammer.
Oh, okay.
Black looking bread. So
Yeah.
that was the main diet there. And got to Australia, lamb.
Really?
Oh, well, that
I didn't even know
tastes
you went to
good anyway.
Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then on the last ship we had, we ran out of food. No food. They had no food in Russia, and that's where we sailed from.
Yeah.
So there was no food. We ran out of food. We even broke into the boat and got hardtack out. But there was a guy on the ship, he's just an able-bodied seaman and a gunner. And he says, this is a crazy Navy. Here we're out of food. And he says, a plane come by and you sound general alarm. He says, fresh duck, when birds got flying by, he said, fresh food come by and nobody says a word. He wanted to sound general alarm and shoot it down.
Did you get to go to like any USO shows? Any,
Honey, they had no entertainment.
None.
You didn't
Nothing.
create it, you didn't have any.
Yeah, because they show, and like you said, they show on TV that there was USO shows, but I guess
Yeah.
that never
No,
made
that's
it to
a
the
bunch
Navy.
of baloney.
Yeah, that was a whole bunch of hype.
So did you ever meet anybody famous?
I'm the most famous person I ever met, but
Oh,
anyway,
well, this is true.
what
This is
happened
true.
to me is this now.
Yeah.
So I sailed one time, it was devastating. That trip to Russia was devastating, and the government did a lot for me. They gave me a couple of leaves. They gave me a vacation into Silver Springs. That's the only thing in Florida. I had a month's vacation at Silver Springs, paid for.
Wow.
And all well and good. So it was very good. They were really good to me. And then I had to go back.
They're
somewhat.
taking them so you
Yeah,
can
I was
go
off
back.
2 months vacation, and then and things were changing rapidly. So they dominated all the gyms in the country in New York for receiving stations to reassign the sailor. So I reported to a big high school there in Brooklyn, New York, 4 tiered decks, and I come in late at night and I was sleeping late. Finally, I was on the top bunk. felt something shaking my bunk. I didn't know what the heck was happening. I look over there, and it's a lady. I said, "What are you?" She says, "I'm a wave." I said, "What the hell is a wave doing in the gym?" She said, "I'm a female sailor." I said, "Oh,
So they called them waves?
waves."
And when you're
Oh,
like,
that's
Yeah,
interesting.
and another thing.
Yeah.
So.
well, you thought you were dreaming?
Yeah,
You're like, am I in a
no,
dream?
I couldn't figure out what that woman was doing, shaking my bunk.
Well, what did she shake? Was she getting down the bunk below
No, she was
you?
telling me,
she
she said,
getting
you've
on in
been,
the
you know,
bunk
she
below
said,
you?
you've been assigned. You need to report to receiving dock.
Oh.
So I went, got up there, and lo and behold, now here I am being assigned again. I said, "Where's the rest of the crew?" It takes 40 people to man those guns. He said, "You're it." I said, "Why? Why?" He says, "You're replacing somebody that's sick off the ship. It came in from New Orleans. It's tied up here at the foot of Green Street, and we got to replace a guy sick." So the first thing I did, put my sea bag on my shoulder, walking up, and the boatswain mate.
Yeah.
I was just still a seaman. The boatswain mate met, and I said, "Hey, Boats." He says, "Welcome aboard." And I said, "Okay, I'm here." "Hey, Boats, hey, why am I replacing this guy? Just one person?" He says, "He got seasick." And I said, "Where is this ship going, Boats?" "Russia." I was holy mackerel. I threw my damn sea bag. I started to run the opposite direction home, but I couldn't make it, so I went aboard. But the ship was built in New Orleans. And what saved me was they loaded it, and it was ready to go. And I'm sitting in my bunk at night. If they're going to sail the next morning, it come a freeze that night. 8 degrees, a record freeze. And about 1 o'clock in the morning, I found myself climbing the wall of a loud explosion. It rattled the whole ship, and I found myself climbing the wall. When I calmed down, I asked the radio, I said, "What in the hell's happening?" He said, "I don't know, but we better go find out." Got up and said, that ship had shrunk and split wide open.
No kidding.
From the freeze.
From the
wow.
freeze,
Yeah.
from the center of that ship all the way down to the bottom, and it was taking on water right there at that dock.
Wow.
And they had to, and the convoy was sailing that morning. So we missed the convoy and missed the second trip to Russia. Hallelujah.
And you'd already been to Russia.
Oh,
yeah,
hell
so
yeah.
you're like, I don't want to go
and
back.
so then I said, "Hey, this is not going to happen." And it took them about 2 months to repair the ship, so we missed it. The cargo on that ship went ahead and went into England for the VD Day supplies.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Okay. It's really
I know. I'm
interesting.
like,
you get caught up in your whole story,
Yeah,
you know, living
because you're
living
thinking
it,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah. So, what did it feel like the first time you were fired at when you were on?
Scared the living heck out of me, and then I said, "I got to get him."
And
So I
that was
jumped
my
right
next
on-
question. So, were you angry, or you just like,
No,
nope, I'm
no,
not gonna?
I was scared to death.
Yeah.
I was scared to death. But then it was the first thing I shot at was a British plane.
Oh, friendly fire.
We were cleaning the guns, and it had a ship that had a catapult. It shot off a British Spitfire plane, catapult, and what we saw was just a big black smoke come up, and we thought it had air raids sinking the ship, and I almost shot him down.
What do you think is that your most terrifying, scaredest moment?
You have no fear. You get scared to death, and you just
Just
go
do your job.
You know that.
Yes,
You know that.
absolutely. I do.
You get
you get in your
you get your vision
job.
set, and you don't even
Yeah.
know what's going on around you, except you want to succeed.
I've been in some horrible fires where
Friendly
later
fire.
on, fires in a building. Later on, I'm scared. After I came out and I made it, I'm like, oh my God, what just happened?
Well,
But
I
during
remember
it-
my first time that I was
Yeah.
like scared to death in a fire.
Waiting for the next alarm to go off.
No, but that first feeling, that
Yeah.
first time that you're just scared to death, and then after that, it's like
Yeah. Yeah, you have a
I
job.
have
Yeah.
no fear. I mean, you just move.
You just do what you're trained for. You
Yeah.
do.
So
yeah.
that particular pilot was on another ship that went with us to Russia, and so I shot at him there, and we missed him. We didn't have machine guns. We were shooting shells at him. And we're getting close to him, and somebody told us friendly fire, stop. So we did. But the same bloke got on the ship and during the trip to Russia. He was in the back of the convoy and was under attack by dive bombers, high level and the whole work. Here they shoot him off and they don't tell anything about it. I look around and see him coming up the convoy. I thought he was a torpedo bomber. I leveled on him and fired him in. And the only thing that saved him was my gun hit the turret and wouldn't go no lower. But he later come back around and so he said, "Aye, you blokes are bad shot, thank God."
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's.
Got to talk to him.
Now, did you any of the Russians or not Russians, the Germans that you shot down? Did any of them become prisoners on your boats?
No. And very few of them become prisoners anywhere.
Yeah.
The Russians, every Russian ship in there would kill them.
Oh,
In the water, they'd shoot them, kill them. They'd parachute out ahead of, and if it's feeling, the destroyers and the escort had to get in and block the fire off of those Russian ships.
yeah, because of
They'd shoot
Geneva
them in the
law,
water, and
we take prisoners. We don't shoot.
But
them.
they
We
mistreated
shoot.
them so badly.
Yeah.
They looked for ways to kill them.
Now, Russia's no joke. They don't play around, huh?
Horrible.
They still don't. All right. So that one when you came back from Russia, you know, what was it like when you docked and you made it to? Where did you dock at after Russia?
You got to know too. There's no mail, no correspondence from home,
Okay.
no communication. So the first thing we saw when coming out of Russia, we made it to Iceland. Had to go under.
I didn't know you've been to Iceland.
Right.
Had to go
So
at
awesome.
Reykjavik.
Yeah.
Had to go into
Yeah, I've
there,
been there.
and it was all dark, and it just got to be daylight when we went in Reykjavik. So we into Reykjavik, and still no liberty, no personnel, nothing else. But that was the first time we'd seen daylight in a long time. And then BBC came aboard from Reykjavik and interviewed us, and that was the first time that my family had heard from me in 5 months. They personally took us hooked us up to their live wire broadcast to the U.S. Game, and then that's the first time my people knew I was living. They thought I was dead because they were getting the war with them. Everybody thought we were dead.
So I was wondering, did you get leave time on Iceland? Did you get to go hit a few bars?
They went,
Drink some whiskey?
this is a good thing you brought it up, is because the Icelanders wouldn't let a sailor off those ships.
Oh yeah, they're afraid
Because
of
they're
you.
all beautiful blonde ladies.
Oh, I was like, they are beautiful
and they
there.
protected them. They wouldn't let no sailor go ashore in
They were
Iceland.
That was
Smart.
very smart,
Yes.
actually.
Very,
and
very
same
smart.
thing, we went on into England, and I got a date there. And I says to the lady,
You had a date?
yeah.
You
I said,
dated
"I
someone
danced
else than my
with-
grandmother?
No entertainment, you'll go here and there. I said, can I escort you home? She says, "Nah, you bloke. My girlfriend got torpedoed twice on her cruise home and left with bundles for Britain." No dates.
No
They
dates
won't
there
date
either,
you.
huh? Well, did
So
you?
this was pre-grandma.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also,
Yes.
pre-grandma.
Pre-grandma.
Also, these ladies can go after you because if they married you, it's automatic pass free
Yeah.
to
America.
war bride.
Yeah. There was a lot of people who did war brides.
Oh yes, I didn't do that. Thank God.
Yes, thank God.
I
Else wouldn't be
didn't.
sitting
I wasn't
here.
dating. In fact, I had a girlfriend, a high school sweetheart. Been with her. She 2 years younger. I went to high school with her, and I was dating her when I went in the service. I was corresponding and dating her, and then when I got shore duty, I was still dating her. Here, male. I met your mother.
My grandmother.
After about 5 months, I met her. 5 months later, I married her. I had to get permission to marry her from the captain, and the captain says, I told the captain, I says, "Captain, I want to get permission to get married." He says, "Yo, Robert," he says, "I think that's awesome. I know Mary is going to make you a super wife." I said, "Captain,
That
it's
was a
not
great
Mary.
name.
Not Mary,
It's
I'm
Iris
Iris."
Dugan." She said, "What the hell you been bullshitting this wife?" I said, "Wait." I said, "Hey, Captain, you're not supposed to memorize my mail. You're supposed to read it."
Hey, that was his entertainment. He read all y'all's love letters. I don't blame him on that. I would have done the same.
Yeah, that
Pretty
had
sure
to be big entertainment.
Jennifer, one of your other
And
granddaughters.
not only that, not only did this ship went to Australia. I made shuttle runs. It was a mule transport. I made shuttle runs with pack horses. And when we went to Australia, the first thing we saw was at the end of the wharf, it had a gate, wouldn't let anybody out on a long pier. I never seen so many women in my life waiting for the sailors to come off that ship. I mean, it was people after people, swamped. And I stayed aboard. I didn't get on because I'd been married and I didn't want to get aboard. But anyway, the ship sailed again, and they had a veterinarian on the ship to take care of the horses. And first morning, everything was okay. Second morning, the next morning, sick call, they had a line of them waiting to get into the veterinarian. This would be venereal disease.
Oh my God. I'm getting images of like Officer and a Gentleman where they had the girls kind
Yes.
of all waiting and
Yeah.
waiting for the new
I
batch
can-
of sailors to
I can
come
definitely
in. And,
see that.
yeah, I could see him. Richard
But
Gere.
it was in Australia
Yes.
at the time. It was 7 women for every man.
Oh, in Australia.
Australia.
Yeah. So were you allowed out in Australia?
Oh,
No?
yes.
Oh yeah. I bet they didn't mind at all. Those women were like,
No,
please come on. We need more. men.
You didn't have. I mean, they'd go after you. I mean, but the most in all the world
Yeah.
travel I ever had is the greatest thing ever happened. The most greatest thing I ever seen in my life is the port of Sydney, Australia. The most beautiful thing I've ever laid my eyes on.
I would like to go there. That's one of my.
Oh, it's the
bucket
world's
lists.
most beautiful harbor.
That's what I hear. I want to. Yeah, I want to.
And there was a lot of ladies there, 7 or 8 women, and they were in sailboats coming out of that ship.
That's desperation right
Yeah,
there.
And Sergeant Arms had to stay on the deck. Sergeant Arms had to stay down there and keep them going.
Sign.
Sorry, and I already have our marriage certificate right here. Just add your name.
Good thing I got ladies
hello.
interview. You guys are bringing all this out.
So I have a question for you, just because our show is called Whiskey Fire Department. Did you drink whiskey back then? Were you a whiskey fan?
No.
What were
I
you?
didn't drink at all. I was born a fire and brimstone
Yeah.
Baptist, and they didn't believe in booze. And I drank a cocktail once in a while. In fact, when I went to what's the name of the New York City, Broadway or whatever.
Yeah,
it is,
Broadway.
I got a date there as soon as I got there, and went to a nightclub there, and she ordered a drink. I did too, and that was when Iris, my wife, seen that picture. She went, she cut the lady off and cut me.
Did you get drunk off your
No,
one
no,
drink there?
No, I never had a very real craving for alcohol. I got into beer heavy at one time.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because a lot of military people, when they
Yeah.
get out, they have,
They
especially
use
if they've
that
seen a lot of
and that's
war.
what they use to get over
Yeah, they're
all the
coping.
pain. And so that's good you didn't use alcohol.
Yeah.
But
For that,
my
but
skills in the
whiskey's
Navy
good.
as a boatswain is operating motor launches, and I run a ferry service. I started out as a deckhand, and then promoted to engineering, operating the engine on the whaler. It had that one with old children on the back and the rascal was all the way around.
This is when you got out?
No, I was in the Navy and
Oh, okay.
when I met my wife there. I had a year's show duty, but he gave me a
Oh, okay.
presidential citation, and they wouldn't let me ship out until the president sent the Navy down to give me the
So you got an award from the president?
presidential citation delivered by the Navy,
Wow.
and they kept me. I was going to ship out again, and when a crew assembled out on deck, I'd been with the same crew. They got there and said, "Taylor, you need to fall out. You're not going." I said, "What the hell you mean I'm not going? My crew's leaving." "Yes, but you're not." "Why? Have I done something wrong?" "No. You got a presidential citation coming. We got to hold you here." This Navy Secretary of the Navy comes down and presents. Meantime, I met Iris and married her.
Thank God that happened. So that was good. Did
We
you
wouldn't have a show.
Did you have any? Assuming you had some good friends that you lost during the war, correct? I mean,
So I changed ships and changed crews. So the guy that was from Jacksonville, Florida, the same place I was from, was with me on the first ship, and he and I were together. And I got worried about him at times, but we made it back. But he and I, we'd go ashore together. We'd become friends. We'd date together and we'd go ashore. So we got close to him, and I stayed with him on the second ship. His name was Thomas. Heck of a nice guy. So when I married Iris, he was my best man. He's in the wedding picture.
okay, but
Very
he survived the war.
Yes.
That's good. That is very good.
Here in the Army, aboard those ships, you either survived, the whole crew survived, or you just didn't survive.
Oh, because the
The
boat
whole
would.
ship.
Yeah, that
All
makes
loaded
sense.
with highly, all kind of ammunition, all kind of explosives. Every ship carried high explosives, everything. So if
So if
one
they
got,
get hit. Yeah.
so if one get through, they had to, and that's what won the war. Out of 400 ships, only 37 of us got there, and only 13 got back. But the 37 got there had everything they needed for the Russians to kick the Germans out of their country.
Are you still in contact with any of your other friends
No,
that you
I
had
did
in
for
the
a long
military?
time, but you know how time takes care of that too.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I do understand that.
Sure.
All right. I think we're. Do you have any questions for this episode?
But the most amazing thing is to me is to have a friend of mine, this guy here, dancing, and my companion here now that's my caregiver and cooks for me, Christy. Been with her 10 years and known her for 10 years. We took training at the same Rhapsody Ballroom, and we're together here with each other, and it was awesome for me and awesome for her. She cooks and takes care of everything, and she has turned out to be really awesome.
That's
and
good.
I'm not lonely anymore.
And that's awesome to see. You know, at your age, at 93, still having a great life, going dancing, having friends, having a social life.
Physically active and able.
The worst thing about being 94 years old, 93 years old, there's no women that age.
No.
Nobody here. No one. I can't find a lady my age living.
Yeah.
I can't find a lady 10 or 15 years below that can stand up.
Well,
so
I had to go to a dance party.
Right.
He's available.
Because women usually live longer than
no,
men.
he's not available.
Oh.
He already got companionship.
Yeah, he has companionship.
And she's a dancer. I'd never danced a lick in my life, and I was so lonely. I was about to go nuts, go ape. I'd go to Biloxi, stayed there all the time.
I remember that.
I'd meet a lady, I couldn't get past her children or Jesus. No companionship. So I started dancing, and I've never been lonely since I started dancing.
No, you've done really good. You're actually a good dancer.
And this is the second interview, but I got more correspondence on Facebook from the ladies I dance with than anybody else.
Yeah, and I do have a picture of my grandfather on the Victory ship dancing with a girl in a 40s style uniform, dancing. It's really awesome.
USO girl, USO lady.
Yeah.
I danced with her last night. I saw her dance last night.
Well, I did not get to do the last interview with you, but I'm very excited that I got to do this one. You're so interesting.
And I must say
it's a very
to you
interesting
too,
history.
I had a lot of interviews, including just recently with the Tampa Tribune, the Navy, and everybody else, and I've never had a pair that do a better job in interviews than you guys did. You got me real relaxed. Of course, it's great to have a granddaughter of mine that's done so well, integrated the fire department, and retired from it, and got great family, great friends.
Well, we love what you're telling us. I love how the stories. I mean, you tell us something. I'm like, wait, what? What did you just say?
Right.
So
Let's go back to the fire department. When I went aboard that ship, a lot of times, a lot of your friends that come and said, Miss Taylor, you know who I am? I said, no, who are you?
Well, we plan on doing this another 2 Mondays. So next Monday, same time.
Same time.
We can do this
again. I'm honored.
No, we're honored.
And I do appreciate all the publicity.
Yes, thank you.
I'm not nearly as long as I used to be after you guys got me on Facebook.
Hey, Facebook, social media is awesome. Use it the right way.
At any age.
Because this is how you get out and people see who you are.
I am so proud of my family that got into the fire department. I'm so honored to be here and live as long as I have. See these ladies do as well as you have, all of you. You integrated. One more thing I want to say about you ladies being in the fire department. Okay, so I had a brother-in-law, and he got to be a driver on the fire department, doing real well. And that maybe they had a female firefighter come on his
department.
No, on his
truck.
Crew,
on his truck.
Wagon wheel, and he looked at him and said, he asked, "Who's this?" He said, That's the lady's going to kick your ass off of this job. She's going to get your job.